If you have been on the internet for really any period of time, or you've seen a movie recently, odds are you're familiar with the concept of the backrooms. They aren't always abandoned, but they often cross over with the idea of a liminal space, a space that you're meant to only stay in for a short amount of time, like a hotel or a hallway, and when they're there, they're abandoned, or they're supposed to be full of people, but they're not. That can create a sense of unease. Maybe like the pool rooms, for example. Pools on their own, not scary, but they're supposed to be full of people, so when they're lonely, it can be spooky. Me personally, I really connect with the party rooms, like rooms you would rent out for a birthday party as a kid. I went there all the time. So that's what I went with for the OC X Backrooms collab by Stormy Draws and Mars Paints over on Instagram. It's so much fun, I love it. And it took a while, but I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. The vibe I wanted for this painting was it looks cheerful at first, but then you look closer and you're like, wait, something's wrong. I also decided to keep solid black out of most of the composition so that it stays really cheerful, and to keep it from becoming anchored, for lack of a better word. Because black is a neutral color, it'll usually anchor a composition and keep it from feeling too whimsical or dreamy. But because this is the Backrooms, I want it to feel dreamy. I want it to feel a little off. And all the bright colors kind of blending into each other without something to anchor them, it ended up feeling almost psychedelic, which worked really well, I think. It's the OC X Backrooms collab. The OC is the focal point. So I knew I wanted her to stand out in some way. Like, I didn't want her to get lost in all the rainbow colors. So what I did was I actually took purple out of the equation for most of the painting, because the OCM drawing, Nina, has purple hair, because she's the only source of purple in this painting. It stands out. So that's why I added the solid black, not just on Nina's clothes, but in the footprints and on her face, because there's a lot of OC lore to explain. Basically, that's monster blood, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, someone tracked this in here. Why? Why is it all over her? Why didn't she clean it up? That kind of thing. Why is there just one slice of cake? Why is she the only person at this table? Because everything's all decorated. It says, congratulations. You'd think there would be party guests, right? That kind of took me on a journey through this painting too was the shading, because I usually don't blend colors as softly as I did here. I do cell shading, so there'll be like a hard line where the color changes from the mid-tone to the shadow, and in this painting you can't really do that with gouache. Backgrounds, it's a little more crisp on the actual main character, but mainly in the backgrounds, what I did was I softly blended the colors into each other using a lot of water. And I decided not to use like a darker version of the main color because I wanted this to feel not as mundane as my usual art. I wanted it to feel more out there. So for example, if I was painting something red, usually I would make the mid-tone just like a normal red, and then I would shade it using a darker red. But what I did here was I shaded it with blue. And ordinarily, I probably would have used purple. I would have used an analogous color if I was going for the magical look, but again, purple reserved just for the main character. So I shaded the orange with red, the yellow with orange and things like that. And I think it kind of made it look like the whole floor, like the tiles and the floor were all blending together except for the grass tiles. So I think that really added to the overall look. Another way I helped Nina keep from getting lost in the painting and just the important parts of it, like the cake slice she's eating, I decided to outline like the objects she would be interacting with black using a fine liner pen. And it reminded me of how in old cartoons, you know which objects a character is going to hold or pick up because they'll have that outline. The stuff that looks really soft, like watercolor, for example, that's usually a background. And I made this painting with gouache and a little bit of acrylic, but it's a similar thing where the colors are intentionally meant to blend easily and look very soft. So I think that worked out really well. I'm really happy with this painting, and I feel like I really captured the bright, fun party room aesthetic. Like, it looks like how I remember party rooms looking, which was a big goal that I had. So I really hope I get to do more paintings like this. I want to practice more with gouache, and I will see you in the next one.